90.3 Nigerian for FM. Good afternoon to you. I'm going to start with a story. Several years ago, not that long, say about 4 years ago, I lost my dad, and it took me a while before I could even move to the house he lived before he passed, to move out his things. Well, maybe because the rent was running up until several months after his demise. I didn't bother until when I had to bother. And while I was going through his stuff, I came upon his library, his books, his Christian books, his Christian literature. And I don't know, I just opened one of them and I found money. I found money, 1,000 naira note inside the book. I think it was a book on financial prosperity or something. I can't remember. I mean, you need to see my excitement. You need to see how I was dancing and jubilating that I found money in one of my dad's books. And for me, that was a lot. And it didn't matter how much. Don't ask me how much. I'm not sure it was up to 10,000 naira, but I celebrated it like I had just gotten, the documents to one of my dad's properties in one estate, as his only child and benefactor and all of that. But every other thing was in my custody, and I had to determine what I did with it. Documents, books, his personal clothes, and everything he owned. For some of them I had to sell because I didn't need them. For others I gave out. For others I took, not because I needed them, but because I felt like I needed something to hold on to as a remembrance of him, and an inheritance, as it were. You know how they say a good father, a good man, leaves an inheritance to his children. That's what it stated in Proverbs 13 verse 22. But is it compulsory to leave an inheritance for your children? What if you don't have anything to leave for them? What if you indeed have things to leave for them, but you don't feel you need to? You feel like you have raised them to a point where they have become self-reliant, self-sufficient, self-dependent, and whatever you leave for them may not matter much to them. So for you, the inheritance you have left for them is self-reliance, self-dependence, So we're talking leaving an inheritance for your children. Some of you have actually been privileged to have parents who had a lot of things. In fact, some of you wait for your parents to pass because you had already made plans for the inheritance that you are so sure will be willed to you. So you see that house your father has at Abel Jumbo, 52 Abel Jumbo. You already have plans for that house. You say, by the time my father dies now, see that house, I am going to do this and do that. You already have plans for the stores he has. He built a lot of stores at maybe Rumokoro markets that he's collecting rent. You say, when this man goes now, I will be the one collecting the rent. You see that particular car he parked in the garage, and he always pets the car. In fact, anytime he wants to go out, you wash it. You bring it, he wash it. He doesn't want to say single scratch. There's no single scratch on that car because that's your father's favorite car. And several times you've asked him for the key to the car, and he tells you, no. You say, nah, you go soon die, and I know carry this motor enter grave. When you die, go use this car, paint the town red. Now, you're not wishing them death in your mind. However, you already have the mindset that you stand to inherit everything. Now, even if you have siblings, you've already done the sharing in your head. You know you are the first son, or you are the second son. You know that that's your elder brother who want to claim everything, but you've already worked out plans and modalities. In fact, you've even gotten the kingsmen to your side in such a way that by the time the will is read, if there is a will, or if there's no will, things would usually come in your favor, right? They'll come together. And then you just stay and you receive a shocker. Your father passed. And you see the house in Ebel Jumbo, the stores at Rumokoro, the plaza at Rumosi, the car in the garage, the plots of land at Ipo, the please help me with names of properties now, locations, anywhere where you have choice properties. That event center at GRA where people like to do wedding, it's your father's own. This one, he just discovered that he willed everything to charity. Not charity as a person, but charity as a cause, helping humanity. Big mother or father. I mean, I've had friends who have lost their parents, and you know, I used to have a friend some years ago, as far back as 2014, 13, 15. They lost their mother, and while they were all sorrowful, you know, planning the burial and everything, I think they waited. I mean, they were that patient to wait until the elder sister comes and says, you know what, it's been over how many years since mom died. She has some plots of land here. What do we do with these properties and all that? I'm not interested in managing them. I can't be, you know, running after tenants to pay rent. I don't know if anyone interested. And they all unanimously agreed that, you see all those properties, they are not interested. They're going to sell them off. So they sold them off, and each person got their share. So my friend at the time used his own share to go and buy a plot of land in one place like that. I think it was in Arlo, and then bought a car. And he said, this is part of the benefits of inheritance of my mom. And I'm like, okay, lucky you. Your mom had something for you guys to share. Have you seen people that do not have things to share? What happens to those people? Have you seen people who actually have things to share? However, the children are not interested. They cannot be bothered. Oh, your father had a certain amount in the bank. You need to come and claim it. Oh, okay, I've heard. Oh, your father had this property, that property, other property. You need to... Oh, okay. I've heard. Now, here's something interesting. Kirk Douglas didn't leave a single penny of his 61 million naira. Did I say naira? Stop it, Denise. Dollars. $61 million fortune in his family, but has still proven his generosity. The Spartacus actor, who died on February the 5th, 2020, at the age of 103 years, the legendary Hollywood icon amassed a sizable income over the years. But you see, his son, the popular Michael Douglas, you know Michael Douglas from Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile. You should remember Michael Douglas from Sharon Stone. The Sharon Stone movie, that Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas at the time was 77 years, but he wouldn't be seen anything in the way of inheritance. His father had that much money. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but you see the son? You ain't gonna see shishi. His entire fortune will be going towards good causes, with at least $50 million to be distributed through the Douglas Foundation, which aims to help those who cannot otherwise help themselves. Similarly, Mary Osmond says none of the money she's made over her lifetime will be left for her children. This one never died yet, though. The 60-year-old performer appeared and explained that leaving her kids a fortune would be a great disservice to them, and that they need to make their own money. This one, I am the one that made it. You go and make your own money. So she's not leaving anything for them. Are there parents listening to this conversation who have already decided that they're not going to leave anything for their children? Nothing of anything they own will be left to the children. Charity or whatever cause, but not for the children. And why? Why would a parent not want to leave an inheritance for their child. Now, you, the child, probably you have plans already for some of those things. And then you just discover that, you see, mommy or daddy or both of them left nothing for you after their death. How would you feel about it? Let's talk. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0002. We also have 0817-923-0003. Again, 0817-923-0003. You can send us a message on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809-030-6416. Once again, WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809-030-6416. On X at Nigeria Info page, and our Facebook page remains Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. We need to go on a commercial break now for about a minute. So when we come back from the break, I'll start taking your calls and reading your messages. It's still the sunny side at 92.3 Nigeria Info. Stay tuned to us. We're still talking leaving an inheritance for your children. Stated that what happens if your parents don't leave any for you? As a parent, what could be good enough reason not to an inheritance for your children? And so on. 0817-930-6416. We're live, so you watch us live. Drop your comments in the comment section, and I'll gladly read them in course of the conversation. Of course, screen eyes and standby to take your calls first before passing it on to me in the studio. So when you do call, the first voice you would hear, of course, will not be my voice, but that of the call screener. Kingsley Amadi says, my sister, it's always good to keep back something for your children. It gives honor. Who is it giving honor to? You or the child? Charles from Mercyland. Hi Charles, how are you doing?
Okay, I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Talk to me.
First of all, let me start with the second one. What would be the reason for a parent not to keep an inheritance for those that have? I think, for me, there should not be any reason for such. Keeping an inheritance for your children is just automatic. You live, they come up. Whether it is a building, whether it's a business, and besides, that is another way of immortalizing yourself. Today, when you go about, I was surprised when you mentioned the jungle. Have you said in Joe? When you go about those areas,
no, I haven't stayed in Joe, but I mean, I know Port Harcourt. I'm a Port Harcourt somebody. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. No problem. So, when you go about, there's some building you will see, you automatically remember the person, the owner of the building. It is a building belongs to one person, and the building is still looking good. Being inherited by the children, they have that has been an immortalization symbol to the man or the mother of the person. So, to me, it's automatic. These days people are just bringing up different ideology. If you have your property that you don't want your children to inherit it, you want to sell it all before you die.
They want to give it to charity.
With charity, yes.
Yeah, they want to help people that like I told you about some people. They want to help people that cannot help themselves. Maybe because they are sure that their children can help themselves, and these people cannot help themselves.
Okay, so the scenario can play when they have made a good foundation for their children. Maybe before they pass on, they have already set the pace, or even if they do not set the pace, the children have already found their way and they're already on the path of wealth and riches. But when you have the children that are average, they have no more where to lay their hands or to have to stand upon, and you want to give up your property, your profit or whatever you have to charity. That's the paralytic wisdom to me.
Well, I have seen people who their children are doing well, they still dash them money. They still buy them cars. I mean, take for instance, $10 daughter. Was it DJ Copy, Abby? Copy. I don't know. Shabi is the father that bought them is Lamborghini, Abby, Ferrari, Abby, Porsche or something. But she's doing well for herself, and the father is still very much alive and still giving her car. Who knows if he still gives her weekly allowance and so even if the children are doing well, does it in any way mean that this one I collected it was my father's own, I have inherited it is now mine? Anyway.
To me, I don't see anything wrong there. The two can go. They are doing well, you still give to them, and at the same time you give to charity.
And charity. Okay, this charity is causing problems.
There are some things that you don't need to even give out. Really, there are some people that can speak for years to come. Let's take, for example, now, this is our big Ogadan today. Can he say maybe tomorrow night he wants to pass on and he say, okay, he wants to give out the Dangote refinery or whatever, the cement factory to charity? You know, there's a big
well, that they don't necessarily like give it out to charity. The proceeds. There can be a standing order that any money Dangote earns in this month, let it go to XYZ Foundation, let it go to XYZ charity organization. I mean, there are things like that. So the people that run charity cannot run the company. I mean, not everybody that runs a charity can run an organization successfully. So
okay. The business, the company we see exist, then the profit should be going to charity. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
Zion, good afternoon. Welcome all the way from GRA.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Draw push inheritance for each person.
Your children.
Children.
Yes, your children.
Don't need inheritance.
Your offspring.
They don't need it.
Why?
That is not what they came here for. Everything I have belongs to the woman I got married to.
Okay.
In my tradition as an Ijo man, that is what we do. In my family, let me say Ijo now. In my family, it is the woman you got married to that owns everything, not the children. We don't raise vagabonds. We raise men, made and forged out of steel. What you can leave for your child is a legacy, not inheritance. Come to Borokiri here. Borokiri is too far. Lagos bus stop here. Go to most part of Port Harcourt and see some buildings that are dilapidating. Is inheritance a father left for his children, the children cannot maintain? Go and see some houses are in court or litigation. Tenants are there been living for years. What happened? A legal inheritance a father left for his children. One thing led to another. Somebody came. In fact, see, my father told me something growing up as a child. He said, look, if you think say all these things now get them, with my pikin say I like it as you lie you. Work for your own. Even my mother replicated that same order. Work for your own. Don't depend on anybody. The only thing you can do for your child is to leave a legacy behind for them. In 2011, a study was carried out of America. And they said that it's only 1% of out of the 1900 that survive with their parents' wealth. The rest, they squander it. They go into drugs, a lot of things. That is why most American rich men now, they don't give their children wealth anymore. They send it somewhere else. And they leave a little that children can manage so that their children can stay their life, live long. These are studies. Go to your studies. Give them that legacy. Talk to them about your value as a father. Talk to them your struggle, how you struggle. The pain she went through. In relationship, in marriage, in agriculture, in your business. Teach them this value so that they can grow up with it. Oh, my father failed, at this point, I don't need to fail. He said I should do it like this. I should not do it like that. When you give them this value, they grow up. Do you know that I was in school far away? We called it a law dinner. As a law student. After the dinner was going on, they now called some of us somewhere. Let us be honest. It was an initiation to join a cult. When I saw the team, my mama catch me for here. Let's tell her, I said, can my mother appear here in school? Far away. I ran. That is a value, a legacy that was kept in my heart. If not for that, do you know that today most parents have no story to tell their children? If a father has a story to tell his children, the moment the father is not around, the children are not happy. Who is going to tell me a story? Who is going to tell me about life history? Who will mold things for me? How will I know the culture of this family? The values of this family? What do we believe? Who is my grandfather? Do you know that some people don't even know the picture of how their grandmother looks like? The surname they are buried, they don't know how the person look like. And they are buried the surname. Except these are the legacy you drop. In our family, we know they kidnap, we know they do yahoo yahoo. Do you know that no Ijo man, I challenge any Ijo person, if he can go into blood rituals or rituals, say go keep us, what do you know? You will be exposed.
Thank you, Zion.
That is no value for you.
Thank you, Zion. Legacy is what you live. What are you leaving inheritance for? Ben from Alu, let's hear what Ben has to say. Welcome, Ben. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ben. Talk to me.
All right. Concerning the discussion on the ground, when we talk of inheritance, it is compulsory that you leave inheritance for your children. But this inheritance does not necessarily mean the tangible things that you leave, like house, like money, like everything. It is most importantly that you leave to develop the children while they are children. Build them up, you train them educationally if you have the capacity to build them up. And if it is to send them for trade, you build them up. And when they grow up to the adult age from 18, they can fend for themselves. So you can agree with me that most of children nowadays, especially when they grow up from wealthy families, they become so lazy. Even sometimes when they send them to school, they refuse to go to school. Send them to learn trade, learn work, learn skills. They refuse to make bottom deep. So they rely on the wealth of the parents. So this is very bad. I think that is the reason why most of the parents, especially the world of don't know that you must leave inheritance, but all depends on individual difference and determination. If the parent decided to give them heaven and leave heaven and earth with their children, there's nothing wrong. All depends on individual difference. But to me, I feel the best I can leave for my children will be to train them up, develop their minds to be able to face the world and provide for themselves. That is the best than relying on my own wealth. I have made my own. If I relied on my parents, I won't have been where I am. So I should also expect them to do the same. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ben. Emmanuel Prince says, to be candid, I will not feel happy. But it depends on the kind of parents you had. If they are rich, wealthy, then I would not be happy. But if they are poor, I wouldn't expect anything. So I won't be angry for anything or anything close to it. So it depends on the kind of parents for Mr. Emmanuel. If they are rich, why they not go drop me something? And if they are poor, I mean, no hard feelings. Divine from what?
Yeah,
Divine, welcome.
Point of view, it's not wrong to leave inheritance for children. It is, you have labored to give them a good standing in life and leave inheritance for them. They are all legacies. What are even legacies? Anything you leave for the next generation. It could be a policy or your family hold on to. In my family, we don't do this, and we can never do this. Like when we were growing up in the village, Denise, there's a family my father never allowed us to mingle with, because in that family, they had criminals in that family. And they had a record. We grew up to know that they actually had that record. So we don't go there. So it's a policy. It's a part of a legacy. You leave landed properties, you leave houses if God blesses you, you leave money, whatever it is. They are part of legacy. It is not wrong. But all you need to do, for me, if I have that as a father, the best I can give my children is the best of education. But if I have other things to leave for them, landed property, houses, I will give it to them. They know what to do with it, because at that time I know, yes, I have done my best. I'll give them the best of education. I know they can manage whatever they have. That's just the truth. Thank you.
You see, while some people are leaving inheritance, cars, houses, money, guess what some people are leaving for their children to inherit? Debt. DEBT. So your parents die and people come from nowhere. Your father been they owe me money, oh. And they owe me 30,000. You, the child that was not there when the father collected the money, you pay for it. Why? Shame. You don't want shame. Your father, they always they come this shop, they collect something. Everything when don't collect now, don't calculate them. Everything come at 50,000. I think now you go pay. I be no one worry you that time. You know, say that time. I still they do burial now. Now when I don't bury and finish. Oh yeah, would they pay? Now you and now your brothers, why they hold? So you people can comfortably leave debt for your children to pay. Why can't you give them your properties? Good news from 3. Welcome.
I greet you, my sister woman.
I greet you, my brother. Good news.
Thank you. I am a Christian. And then the Bible admonishes parents, fathers, on how to behave. And it says that a good man leaves inheritance for his children's children's children. A good father, a good man. He didn't say that you leave how do they call it? The Bible says a good man will leave inheritance for the children's children. That is to say, while you are responsible and working and you do all you are doing, you remember that your wealth will be acquired by your children's children. My late grandpa, even up to this moment, the 3 properties he left are what even the great-grandchildren have tested it. That was when I knew that the man was a good man. Unfortunately, some others are not like that. So, if you train your child in wisdom, the best education, according to your ability, one of the good inheritance you can give to your children is your character. Because you may not have money, but you struggle to train them. Your character is an inheritance that they will use. Somebody who you have done good things for. Tomorrow they may go to office and say, oh, are you the son of such a person? Oh, please give him the job. Or don't give him the job. That is one of the inheritances you must leave for your children. Your name, your character, good name. Thank you, goodness from Port Harcourt.
Okay, good name. Someone says, hi, I'm Christy. I'm hearing you all want to leave something. Oh, hi, I'm Charity. I'm hearing you all want to leave something for me. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. What's happening? I can't access. Okay. Anonymous says, parents who have the mindset of I suffered, so I want my children to suffer, are practicing black witchcraft in broad daylight. If a parent who has wealth did not train their children to grow and maintain that wealth, it is an indication of their bad parenting abilities. I saw something that a Nigerian celebrity said, and I will paraphrase. Build generational wealth so that your children can marry for love and legacy, not for survival. All my descendants will be born into generational wealth and will be trained to manage and grow it. They'll be singing the praises of my husband and I long after we are gone, and none of them will be permitted to marry or have children with a descendant of anyone who is against generational wealth. Let everybody generally marry, mingle, and stay with only those that have their mindset. Not after I raise my children, one person whose ancestors are envious of rich people or have inferiority complex will come and scatter my work. If you tell a black man to leave inheritance now for his children, it is like wishing him to die. That's why a white man will die and live will for his children, but a black man will die and live bills for them. NS from Woji. Toby Swala says, What do I struggle all my life for, if not my children? What differentiates me from my wife? My wife and I are one. All we went through in life are for our children. That doesn't mean our children will not get theirs. What is family in the first place? So together we talk about legacies and what we place on ground in our lifetime, as for those we live when we live this life. And this one says, I beloved Denise, this is what we are suffering today. The inheritance left for us. The problem of those born into very rich family, management of the wealth, is our problem. Today our children are crying, please use it to establish us. Stop wasting it. Somewhere from Woji. People inherit things. In fact, there are people that even inherit the throne. Once their father dies, they know that they are the next in line. You know, I've always wondered. Prince Charles, right? King Charles now. The son of Queen Elizabeth. How he waited all these years for his mother to pass. Knowing fully well that he will be crowned king. Long live the king. But I'm sure beyond just the throne, every other thing that has to do with the throne has been inherited. I mean, there are people that will never know suffer in this life. Like, what is suffer? Who born suffer? Who you? How do you form? How do you exist? They will never encounter it because, you see, their parents have lived. If they decide not to work a day in their life, they are good. So yeah, their parents will make it a conscious thing to work hard just so that their children will not suffer what they suffered. And even if they suffered, what happened to their child getting it? So if it took the parents 30 years to fly abroad, they don't mind. At 2 months, the child goes abroad. They show the child the picture, say, see when you went abroad, when you were 2 years, you were such a fine boy. And they will go all out. Yeah, people don't like writing wills, but for some families, it's a given that once this person goes, this is the person that will inherit everything. So even if you say you want your wife to inherit everything, women will most likely say, I don't want these children. You know, these children, it's me and you that suffer to bring this money. These children will go and squander it and win everything to you. Who told you the wife will not eventually hand over those properties to the children? Sometimes inheritance has caused a rift between siblings from the same womb. Who gets what? And some parents say, I don't want this after I'm gone, so there's no who gets what. Nigerian, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome. I think you're last caller, so go ahead. Barry the Taylor, you're welcome.
Let me add what you are discussing here. I know the Bible cannot lie when it says Father leave an inheritance to him. That is true. I disagree from people that say that an inheritance is true. Because I know before they were born, his father or their father took their house where they grow up to. And I don't know why in their age today they cannot leave an inheritance for their children. And they say it is wrong. I disagree with that. Leaving an inheritance does not mean that they are in their life.
You know, your line is really, really unclear. Chema Kingsley Wallace says the best of education is number one, then inheritance follows. Carrie D. John says, now next of kin they spend money past, so just build a house, train your children in higher institution, then keep small savings for them. That's all. Good afternoon, Denise. To God be the glory, despite the fact that Dad was yet to fully complete his mansion before he passed, nobody came around to say he was owing him or her because he built without borrowing. Dad never believed in loans or borrowing, despite he had no helper. I see. DDW, this thing depends on individual beliefs. See, our father left this world 37 years ago, and he left some inheritance like building and landed properties for us. So we just shared it last month. Now, those properties is definitely going to help us to stand on our feet properly. And we are all happy and prayed for him. So if you have the capacity to keep inheritance for your children, please do. There's nothing wrong with that. Thank you so much, Aminu. And thank you everyone for being a part of this conversation. I have seen people who have sworn on their grave, they are not dead yet, that their child will never see a penny. Partly because the child was a very, very wayward. You will not inherit my company, you will not inherit my money, nothing. Because this is the only child and this child turned out this way. So I'd rather give my legacy, my properties, my company, my business to someone whose head is correct. And someone else gets it. There will be legal battles here and there, but there's a standing will stating clearly this is the decision of the deceased. In all you do, you shouldn't have to wait until your children die, not to your children, until you die before you help your children stand on their feet. Start now. Start keeping that inheritance. Start giving them that inheritance. Remember the prodigal son? You say they wait till your father die. Share it now that you're alive, I'm alive. Share it. Make I carry my own day waka. And the father did. Did he squander it? The answer is yes. Did he come back? The answer is yes. Did the father accept him? The answer is yes. Was it ever recorded in the Bible if the father gave him another inheritance? I doubt that. But do well by your children and continue to be the support that they need. I'm Denise Eneswalu. Up next is a commercial break, and afterwards, Sunnyside comes to an end.
You are tuned in to